This is the most vulnerable video I've ever made. So my 2025 goal is to just show up. It's a mentality where you prioritize being present and taking action rather than focusing on results. As an artist and content creator, this means showing up to create art and videos without focusing on how good they are or how well received they'll be. Just making the most of every opportunity to do the thing. Now, the truth is, the reason I chose show up as my one and only goal for the whole year is because as a lifelong crippling perfectionist and overthinker, the simple act of showing up is honestly the hardest thing in the world for me to do every day. It is a constant internal war. Now, in the previous video, I told the story of how my channel blew up as a result of staying consistent with this show up habit for just a few months. So the internal war was going in my favor, more than I ever dreamed or expected it would. But I think the biggest test for how well you've managed to incorporate a good habit into your life is to see what happens to it when life shifts a little bit, when an unexpected thing pops up, when routines get a little out of whack, or you just have a lot to juggle. Those are the times when we tend to slip right back into whatever habits are the most ingrained and familiar to us. And I knew this time would come. I have been waiting to see what would happen to my show up habit when my life shifted a little bit, as life does. And sure enough, my dear old familiar friend, perfectionist thinking, has moved back in. It's been really hard lately to show up for my art and my videos because I've been in my head thinking everything I'm doing is not good enough, and I can't post something if it's not good enough. But your girl was very determined when she set her goal, and I still am. As I get older, I noticed that the only way to really chip away at breaking an old habit is first, admit it to yourself as quickly as you can when you've stumbled back into it. 2, give yourself some grace, some love, and some humor, because stumbling is all part of the process, my beautiful humans. And 3, do something, anything that's different than what you usually do. And usually, I just kind of end up disappearing until I overcome my own perfectionism in private, but that's not showing up, my friends. So instead, I'm trying something different this time. I'm doing the very thing I've always been afraid to do, and that is to just openly let everyone into this moment of human imperfection. And of course, I waited until I had 100,000 subscribers to do this. So that's a lot of everyone to just show up with no excuses and no waiting around until it's easier to get back to my goals. Because the whole point is that no matter what, there's always something you can show up to. However small and however imperfect, however little time you have, it's not about doing something right, it's about doing what you can. So here I am, doing what I can in this moment. I'm making this very imperfect little video that most people have probably already swiped past at this point, but if anyone's still watching this has a similar internal war, just know that you're not alone. And don't let a few battles lost let you give up, because it is worth it to keep trying.